Welcome back to Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast, where we talk about all things meat smoking technology, whatever we can think of, and lots of other, I'm going to use a big word here, ancillary subjects. Ooh. And we have a great guest for you guys today. Rico from Q Shanty Barbecue is here, and he has got some great information, some great experience to share with us.
So excited.
And yeah, we're just going to jump right in and wind this guy up and let him go.
Perfect. Yeah. No, I just want to echo that. So hi, everybody. I'm Vinny, in case Chip didn't introduce me like he's supposed to. And Rico is here, and this is great because we talked to Rico a couple months ago, actually. Can't believe that time's flying like this. And we said, hey, what about the podcast? He goes, yeah, I live 3.5 hours away. I'll come down and do it with you. I have no.
That's hardcore right there.
So we're really appreciative to have you in the studio. It makes a big difference. You can do this stuff virtually, but this is the real deal. So Rico, welcome and thank you very much.
My pleasure being here today, and thank you for dinner. I greatly appreciated that.
Hey, Chip set the tone way back when. I said, Charlie, we're going to do barbecue. If we don't eat and drink and have fun at it,
what's the point?
What are we doing? what is wrong with us? So, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's not what you're probably accustomed to eating because I know you eat your own cooking, but thanks for...
I'm going to tell you, it was really good. I really don't go out, and I really don't eat a lot of people's cooking besides, like, our house because... we're very great cooks at the house, and me eating somewhere else is very not my usual.
So let me ask you a question about that, since you do eat your own food and you guys are obviously very good at it. You go out to eat when you do. I mean, are you critical of what?
No, we go to the same place.
Same place because you know you're going to get fed right there.
Basically the 99 in Taunton.
99. God, I haven't been to 99 in a long time.
We have a waiter. He knows our orders. As soon as he knows he has our table, my dad's drinks on the table, my drinks on the table, and
they still have the 24-ounce drafts. Yeah.
Don't know. We don't drink beer in my house. It's all moonshine and whiskey.
Oh boy,
they still have the 24-ounce moonshine.
I wish. But no, we're very. If we can't cook it ourselves, it's kind of hard. I personally can't see going out spending $200 on dinner because I still live at home with mom and dad. My fiance lives at my parents' house with us and my sister. So there's 5 of us if we're going out to dinner, if it's not just me and the fiance.
Yeah, that's an investment right there.
Yeah. So I'll do like the food trucks. Me and my fiance will go out. We'll try the different food trucks out and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I know how I can cook and I kind of like my food. But I'm going to say this. My mother's food is a lot better than my food.
So I was going to just ask you, where'd you learn from, mom and dad?
My mother, mostly. But I also did go to a technical high school.
Oh, wow.
So for culinary arts, and I give a lot of my thanks to my high school chef, Will Corsi. He was actually one of my biggest influences in cooking. Probably wouldn't be without him. I would have not bought my first smoker.
Oh, wow.
He kind of talked to me. He goes, hey, I need yard work done. I'll pay you $200. I'm like, instead of that, why don't we go to Lowe's and you can buy me a smoker?
Oh, nice.
He goes, I'll give you the money and then we can go do it. You can go buy it yourself. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Played around with that for about a year. My freshman year, started playing around with it. But I had an uncle who did a lot of barbecuing and stuff like that for 4th of July cookouts and that stuff. So I was tasting some of the food he was cooking and I'm like, I think I can do better. Some of this tastes like lighter fluid. I think I can do better.
You cocky bastard, you.
All right, so what year are we in now right now? Just to give us a point of reference.
Probably 13, 14, he was cooking. My uncle was.
So 2013 or 14?
No. 13, 14 years old.
Okay, what year are we in?
Probably 2010.
Okay, all right, just to get a reference because I love that stuff.
2010 is when I got my first one. I did my first competition my junior year of high school. So that would be, sophomore year, end of sophomore year going into junior year, I did my first one, which was just a Neb's tailgate.
Are you talking high school?
High school.
Yeah.
High school.
Isn't that crazy? And what are you cooking on now? You cooking on charcoal or you cooking on pellets?
I'm kind of cooking on...
back then.
Back then was a...
How'd you start?
Little green smoker from Lowe's, the charcoal ones, the little baby R2D2 ones.
Yeah.
We still got one in my basement. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. It's a lot of sentimental memories to me.
Yeah.
It was the first cooker I cooked on. It was with my first partner or whatever you want to call him. It was my best friend.
Yeah.
Who passed away. So I kind of can't get rid of it. We kind of have a lot of sentimental memories. Just all of us young, being 13, 14 years old, outside cooking, trying to figure out what the hell we're doing.
That's cool.
I
That's
mean,
so cool.
So I have that one. After my first tailgate at 16,
Yep.
I looked at my parents saying, this is something I want to do.
Yep.
My parents looked at me like I had 5 heads.
Sure.
Like,
You
but-
want to cook barbecue.
they were my biggest supporters. Not
Really?
gonna lie, they still are my biggest supporters. My mom drove me to my first competition.
Oh, that's cool.
And with her truck, I broke a smoker trying to figure out how to ratchet strap stuff and doing all that stuff. Like, what do you expect over the years? Like, I didn't drive until I was about 20.
Yeah.
I was a little late bloomer driving. I was a little more afraid of doing it. So
Right.
my mom was the one towing all my trailers
That's
for years.
awesome.
And now I'm starting to tow my own trailers now, still doing it. But we started off on from the little green one to a stick burner that was about on a 14-foot trailer with a little, about 8-foot wide, 8-foot long tube. And then it was probably about 20 inches in the inside.
Okay.
Had 2 levels to it. Then I had a chicken warmer box on the side and it was a stick burner, reverse flow.
Was it hard to make the adjustment to a stick burner?
No, I actually got it for probably a great deal. I got it for $1,000.
Right.
Guy got out of cooking, came with 25 bags of charcoal,
Yeah.
a Cambro, and I was like, went home. I was like, oh, we can cook on this that day. Couldn't get the thing above 200 degrees. I bought my parents and me. We probably
Burning greenwood.
no, I was just burning charcoal because I thought that's all I
I'm
needed
sorry,
the first time. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
really didn't know what I was doing. I bought like a couple $100 in ribs and had people over. I'm like, guys, I guess we've got no food. It's not cooking. I don't know what I'm doing. So, but
It happens. And that's how you do it. That's our biggest recommendation to our audience is that, look, barbecue's awesome. Just do it, screw it up, and you learn and keep going.
just don't screw up on expensive cuts of meat first.
Yeah.
Buy all the cheap stuff. Don't go out buy Wagyu for your first ever brisket. Do not do it.
No. You won't.
Because you're eating that, whether it came out good, bad, or indifferent.
My father will tell you that he's had some horrible food and had to stomach it down for a week trying so we don't have leftovers. But
Now, does your dad cook it all?
Rico, I'm sorry.
All right,
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, we can circle back.
You mentioned your mom, and I was reading, some stuff on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and it seems like you give her a lot of credit. And talk to me about that a little bit. How did that start? Your relationship with cooking and your mom? And
I give my mom a lot of credit. My mom and my dad have been together 30 years, but during the week, my mother was like a single mother. My dad worked the night shift for basically my whole life until just recently. He went to days. So that relationship with my mother has always been there. I have a great relationship with my father. Me and my father, the same personality. So we butt heads, but we love each other.
Yeah.
I can sit down and have 2 drinks with my father, and we have the best conversations. But my mother has always shown me to be a better human being than I can be myself. We've done from growing up, I learned how to cook from my mom. She'll tell you she was never the best cook. And then with my father working nights, my mom would cook 5-6 meals on a Sunday. So all we had to do is microwave and reheat.
Yep.
So I learned how to boil water and all that 8-9 years old.
You were in the kitchen.
I was in the kitchen helping her out. We have a picture from when I was in when we lived in an apartment at 3 years old. I'm sitting out there trying to roll pizzas out with my mom.
Yep.
But I give my mom a lot of credit. We've seen a lot. We've also fostered kids over the years. We've done a lot of different things. So I give my mom a lot more credit than she deserves. She deserves the world, and we try to give it to her as much as we can.
Yeah, I give her so much credit. Not to get over sentimental with this, but it's one of my plights in understanding this whole barbecue game is that people go out and they don't know how to cook anymore, and they wonder why they don't know how to cook. Well, it's kind of obvious. The last 20 years, 30 years, mom and dads are both working. There's nobody in the home cooking. There's no passing down generational kind of techniques and knowledge. So people just don't do it. Now we're coming around, right? 20, 30 years later, people are so interested in cooking So what do? They go to YouTube, right?
Yep.
And now, and I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be critical of anybody, but there are just some chefs and or home cookers that just try to make things so bloody complicated. You know, for unnecessarily complicated. So you got to have the certain technique, the certain, ingredients, the certain cooking application. And you don't. You just need to know what you're doing, and you should be able to do it on anything, right? And that comes with experience and the thing they don't have when they're trying to learn.
I get what you're saying by that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to make it to how you want it. You can see a recipe, and I will tell you, I've looked at plenty of recipes, and I go, or I go out somewhere and I try something, I go, I can make that better.
Yeah.
Might not be restaurant standards, might just be home cooking standards.
100%.
Like we do for my work, we go to Patriots Place, we do the Platinum Pub for our Christmas party. They had beef short ribs wrapped in bacon. We tasted them, like, they taste decent. My dad looked at me and goes, you can do them better. Way better than these guys.
Yep.
That next day, what do you think I went out and bought? Beef ribs and bacon and tried it. And
I think I'm looking at those pictures of your beef. Oh, no, this is chicken legs and bacon you got up here on YouTube.
so
But that goes to my point. See, you knew the cooking process and you knew what you like to eat. So you were you steadfast to those rules. Nowadays, you get kids, like I'll use my oldest boy for an example. He won't cook. He doesn't like to cook. He doesn't get it. He doesn't know how it works. He loves to eat, but he doesn't love to cook. So if I do challenge him with stuff, because he knows I do, he goes and he's like, well, I saw this on YouTube. And I said, try it. Just try it. He's, well, I don't know how to do it. It's okay. Just, take a combination of what you just saw and learned and what you like to eat and mix it up. And then you'll learn from it and go through the process. As long as it's, for me, I just kind of lose interest when things are overcomplicated.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'll take this for instance. I'll take my little sister.
Yeah.
Getting ready to do her first Neb's tailgate with her best friend Emma.
19, right? You told me?
She's 19 and her friend's 20.
Yeah.
So they're going to do their first tailgate in a couple weeks for the Commanders Cup in Rentham.
Okay.
They have their own team name, Spice Chicks Barbecue. They decided to do that. And I was sitting there laughing with it, but I challenged my sister. I'm like, you know all my recipes. You're not using my stuff. And she goes, why? I want you to be able to do it yourself. So we've spent a lot of hours lately.
I was just saying, how did she react to that statement off the gate?
She was actually excited about it, to be honest, because it brought more for her to be able to try herself out and not be up to. I have high standards for her anyways, because she's my little sister. But at the end of the day, I don't care because she's not doing something stupid. She's trying to cook. She's trying to do something. And my little sister's done Kids Q. I've been in her corner. I saw the little girl get a couple first places, and I almost cried. I did cry when she got Neb's Team of the Year for Kids Q. I did cry on that one because I've seen her grow from the little girl who jumped in my arms at 5 years old and has never left my house since. So
when you told her, hey, you're not using my stuff, I get what you're saying, but that kind of takes her to the next level.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
she's not riding your coattails at all.
No,
It's
so
it's a line in the sand, right? It's like,
she is using
step it up, kid.
She is using some of my seasonings.
Yeah.
She's using all the equipment that we own at the house. But I want her to come up with her own recipes, her own seasonings. She is using some of one of my sponsors all queued up, but she's also using some of other people's stuff that she likes over the years from me. I'll go to the grocery store and buy a couple balls of rub. I'll go, I'll taste this and try it. She'll taste it and go, ooh, I like that. So I knew what she's liked over the years, so I did pick up a couple ones that she likes. So for her chicken recipe, she's using one of the rubs right in front of us, the all queued up Rockin' Roosters, but then she's mixing it with like 3 other things that you would not think that would be a combination. Like she's using ramen chicken noodle packets for her brine and stuff like that. Well,
there's a lot of sodium in that.
Yeah, well, that's what it is anyways.
But I looked at her, I'm like, I don't care how you do. I'm more proud of you wanting to do this.
Yep.
And her friend who graduated from the same high school I did, from the same program, she wanted to do it with her. So I took the expectation of, I don't care if you guys win, lose, or draw. As long as both of your boxes in, I'll be a proud person. You guys get a call, I'll be bawling my eyes out like a proud brother because both of them I feel like are like my little sisters.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like we always say, Q Shanty is a family team. Everybody in the family has a role, not just one person.
Didn't you tell me your mom's pulling one of the trailers up this week?
She's pulling it home.
Okay.
She's probably gonna pull home.
Yeah, that's a mom. I mean,
She's probably gonna pull the red one home, and I'll probably tow the lighter one home. But that's okay.
No, but I'm saying if you're going to show you how to cook or criticize you or promote you in a certain way, that's one way to be a mom.
Yeah.
But if you're towing trailers, you're all in.
Yeah.
You're all in when you do it at that point.
My dad would love to tow the trailers, but my dad can't. My dad's cross-eyed and colorblind on one side, so it's not always
that limits his participation in the driving and towing.
But my dad does. My dad, I put a lot between me and my father. We butt heads because he wants me to do good. And he's my worst critic. Not gonna lie.
That's what we do.
I thought I was my worst critic, but I'm very hot-headed just like him. But like he'll sit down when we get home, we'll look at the scores together, we'll do all that stuff. But like when I was younger, my father was more part of like doing everything with me in the yard, practice cooks. Because my dad would work nights and we only had one day really together and we had Saturdays. So he gets home from work, he'd get a couple hours sleep. But I would be outside starting the smoker when he's walking through the door. So we'd get an hour. Oh, let's season up the stuff together. We'll do this. But I got to say, my dad stepped up this year. We did Marshfield rib cook-off. I signed up for 200 rack ribs. They gave us 100. Me and my dad and my buddy Pat, we got there at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, set up. I'm like, Dad, you going to rub all the ribs? I am. Because my dad likes to do that. Like, we'll practice around the house and we'll do stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I got to focus on getting the fires going. So him and Pat rubbed all the ribs in. Then I looked and my dad goes, what are we doing now? I'm like, we got to wrap ribs. He goes, I don't do that. I'm like, you're doing it today. But like.
Every hand on deck.
But like Marshfield was a family affair. I got to tell you, I had my grandmother came out to our first comp and since my grandfather died. So that was very emotional as it was.
Yeah.
As you see, I'm wearing my Q Shanty jersey.
Yep.
My mom has one, my dad has one, my sister has one, my fiance Katie has one, and my grandmother has one. My grandmother says Grumpette on the back for my grandfather because we called him Grump. So she came in with her baseball cap on, her jersey on. I saw her, I started crying because it was awesome.
The whole family was there.
Yeah, I had a couple of my aunts came, a couple of my dad's friends, close family friends of ours came. So it was a big family atmosphere because it was close to home. A lot of these people, a lot of the family, when I first started, was like, you sure you want to do this? And it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But I look at now as if we're cooking, we're cooking. And I treat a lot of stuff as a practice cook, but not as a practice cook. Like I'm practicing technique, but I'm not practicing flavor, if that makes sense. Like
no, that doesn't. Explain that to me because that's the hardest. I think technique I can learn and repeat, but I suck at building flavor profiles.
So I have a base flavor profile I shoot for everything.
Yeah.
But I know what my base flavor profile should be.
Yeah.
So I'm going back and I'm trying to vary from that to this to different things because I like to play on different cookers. I have pellets, charcoal, I got drums.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is grow myself, but I get tired of eating the same flavor profile every week.
It's almost though, I've noticed in talking to you tonight and seeing some of your competition, you're almost resilient to different cookers. Like a cooker doesn't throw you off. You can recover a cook on anything based on your flavor profile, I think. Maybe I'm giving you too much credit, sorry.
A little bit too much credit there. I mean, there's some cookers where I'm not the best on a regular Weber kettle grill. I'll tell you that right away.
Okay.
I'm not the best on those. But I will play around and have fun and do different things as myself.
Yeah.
I will cook on drums. I'll cook on insulate cabinets. I'll cook on a stick burner. I've done that before. I can't tell you I'll probably be the most confident cooking on a stick burner nowadays. I haven't done it in forever. But that challenge is always still there for me.
Sure.
I will cook, like my buddy Pat will tell you. He'll call me and go, are we cooking this weekend? Yeah, let's cook. Or Matt calls and Matt goes, hey, think we can do this? Yeah, I think we're crazy, but sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm big as barbecue has to give back. Some way, somehow, we got to give back cooking.
Yeah.
As a lot of the barbecue people around here know, as a family, we cook for 2 homeless shelters with Father Bills once a month.
Excuse me. Let's go over that.
Yeah.
That's something that started about 6 years ago. My
So would you say Father Bill?
Father Bill's.
Who? Okay,
It's
what is
a shelter
Yeah.
association in Massachusetts.
that? Yep.
We do the Mainspring House and we do the Conway House. One's in Middleborough, one's in Brockton. It's more families who are on hard times and who are in the shelter. So it started off just as Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving dinner for them.
Oh, nice.
And then it started off just in the Middleborough house. We did Christmas and Thanksgiving that year. And then the next year, Marcia, who's the house director for both of those, she's now family to us. She goes, can you cook for the other shelter that I belong with? And we're like, it's kind of an undertaking, but sure, we'll do it for you. And then we did that for a couple of years, and then COVID hit. Both my parents were still working. I was laid off, but you're collecting a decent chunk of change. So my mom goes, I want to give back to them once a month. And that was maybe 2 months into COVID, and ever since then we've not stopped. We've gone every month since. And it's grown now.
God.
It's grown now even more. We have our church that we belong to. The kids make the desserts to give back. as
And Rico,
community service.
where did the funding come for this?
That's us. That's us.
You guys are just pulling this out of your pocket.
Yeah,
So forget about the money you pull out of your pocket just to compete. You got to pull this out for the shelters.
We don't
too.
care. It's we budget a month. We budget right now. It's a little different.
Yeah.
We are thankful that we work for a great construction company.
Yeah.
All three of us work for the same company. We work for E.M. Duggan, and the owner of our company will help us out with Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Ugh.
We between the turkeys, but for Christmas, it's not just Christmas dinner and Christmas desserts. We're making family baskets for everybody.
Right.
Getting a popcorn tin, making a hot chocolate basket for the whole house. Then we get a kid. Each kid gets a little gift. They give us their ages, their names. We write it on there. And we break it up by family.
Right.
So like each family could have one room, could have two rooms. We have their room number. I dress up as Santa Claus. I put a little. Yes, I'm skinny,
Yeah,
but I
Who likes a skinny Santa?
I put a couple pillows underneath and dress up like Santa Claus and get the little kids presents on Christmas.
Okay, so now that you're done making me feel like a piece of shit, and I've never done anything in my life.
By the way, I was telling that to Rico earlier tonight. Chip wonders where his life escaped to.
But Chip, you got to look at it in what you can do as a person. Sure. It's not.
Yeah.
But this all started because my grandfather, my dad's mother, was in a home growing up. So my mom's always wanted to do something to give back to them. Mm-hmm. And then with us fostering kids over the years, it gave my mom more of a drive to do something. And now that drive is turned into a family. And last year we actually got recognized by WBZ Channel 411. Reed came to my house and did the whole Christmas article.
That's great.
And we're on the news for it. And we look at it now as I don't care. I love seeing like people's faces when we drop off the food. We just did it last week. We did breakfast for them.
Which is, I mean, that's like right at the heart of barbecue, isn't it? Like you love cooking for people and seeing how they enjoy your cooking, and that's right at that's a building block,
right? I mean, of course, if it tastes good, that's great, and of course you cook, and that's your talent, right? You got to give your talent, your treasures, or your time. That's how life works, and you're given all three, and it's amazing that when you present that, right? That's the payback. I mean, just to see people honestly say thank you because they're thankful and they get to enjoy the communal spirit of what goes on, right? That's just amazing.
Absolutely. Rico, so you're saying you're doing this on a monthly basis. So what's that entail?
That entails us going. My mom will talk to the kids for confirmation class. She'll put the sign-up sheet up. Sometimes we get 5 kids for desserts. This past one, we got 21 kids who signed up to do desserts.
So the kids get community hours to provide desserts for the...
We give them 3 hours.
That's awesome.
If it's a lot of stuff, we give them a little bit more. But normally it's about 3 to 4 hours we give them out for the community service. But it's not just me. The fiance is out there trying to help us out, cooking. She's signing slips because I could be by the pits. Mom could not be home yet. We have kids dropping off food and desserts and stuff like that. But it's... Every single person in my house has a part in this. It's not just me. It's the whole family. My sister Just watching the dogs when we're doing it.
Everybody's got to do something, right?
Right.
Dad's taste testing, of course.
So this weekend in Rentham, you got the month of giving, which is also a Christmas toy drive, right? Is it? What event is it for? It's for kids, I know.
It's the weekend of giving. It's a toy drive. I'm not 100% sure who the toys go to.
Yep.
But the weekend of giving has been around for a little while now. It's one of Inclusive Barbecue events.
Yep.
But how it used to be day one was a food drive, and then day two was the toy drive.
Okay.
But now it's teenagers need gift cards or something because you can't really buy for them.
Right.
And people need more. So this year she's just doing it as a toy drive.
Right.
But this weekend will be the last KSBS up here in New England as it is. So it's a great way to give back is bring a couple toys unwrapped and put them in the back of the van, truck, whatever she gets for it.
Sure.
And I look at it as if you can give one gift a year, you're putting one smile on someone else's face.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing nowadays is there's a very big, as we all see, a lot more people need it more than we do nowadays.
Sure.
We're all working. We're all doing this. But there's a lot of people who are having harder times than we are. So as a family, we got a couple gifts, but that we're going to put in. I don't advertise it saying we're doing it because it's up to the people. It's not up to me to get stuff. I think they do a great job promoting it. Everyone does a great job promoting this as it is. So it's not 100% up to all of us. It's a community that we grow as the barbecuers that we can be able to provide for what we need to do.
Sure. Yeah, I actually, and I got to do this because I got to bring us around to another subject. So I went out and bought a toy, and I went in and buy a Barbie doll because I know those are hot now. So I walked in, the guy said, "Yeah, I'm having a Barbie doll. I just need, I don't know, I'm giving it away a donation." He said, "Sure, what do you want?" We got the beach Barbie, we got the ballerina Barbie, we got the skateboarding Barbie, we got the astronaut Barbie. And he goes, "Well, how much?" He goes, "Well, all these are $19.95. I said, "Okay, that's not bad." And what else you got? He goes, "We have the divorced Barbie." And I said, "Divorce Barbie." So how much is that? He goes, $268.97. And I said, "That's crazy. Why is that so expensive?" Oh, well, you got to understand. It comes with Ken's house, Ken's car, Ken's bike, Ken's house in the Bahamas,
God,
and Ken's
funny.
best friend. Yeah. So, anyways, all right, I had to tell that. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's great. So you're going up. So you're here. All right. So guys, if you haven't figured it out, I'll tell you. We do these on Wednesdays. And we rush them to press and we get them out for Friday. So Rico's here the Wednesday before. He's got to pack up and screw off to his competition. What does that entail, Rico? How much work is involved with that? I mean, obviously, you got to pack up, you got to get there, you got to cook, you got to break down, you got to come back, clean up. Take us through one of those quickly.
So a typical week for me for comps is I order all my ribs and my brisket from Mr. Brisket.
Okay.
So
where's that?
That's at Ohio.
Okay.
Comes in frozen. I actually ordered that about a month ago, so it's been in the freezer. The biggest thing for me is finding my pork. I am not one to buy pork butts from online. I did it once this year. I did the Mr. Brisket comp box. I love Mr. Brisket product, but I need to be able to go find my own pork. I know what I'm looking for myself.
Yep.
And I cook 5 pork butts of competition.
Oh,
it's
that's a hefty investment.
It is,
there.
but I do it because I know for me it's peace of mind for myself. Yeah. And I focus on money muscles, the tubes, and the bacon on it. And I want to be able to give the best food possible. I want to have a little bit more options. I should eventually cut it down, but I can't. It's just my numbers are set in stone.
It's in your DNA.
I cook 1 brisket, 6 racks of ribs, 4 to 5 pork butts, depending on what I can find for money muscles, and then 12 to 18 pieces of chicken, depending on the size of chicken I'm finding. But nowadays, my prep starts about 2 weeks before. I'll go through, see what I have in my inventory for rubs, sauces, seasonings. I'll go through my charcoals. The weekend before the event, I'm fully unloading the trailer, cleaning it all out again, washing the floor, power washing everything out, cleaning all the smokers because practice cooks and just cooking around the house. All my drums get cooked out, cleaned out.
Don't forget your sister, right? She's tinkering around with your stuff.
Yeah. So, but no. So it's more. I try to get everything done either Saturday or Sunday, for like the trailer wise, getting stuff done. Trailer gets plugged in on Friday, the 2 Fridays before, so the refrigerator can start getting cold and stuff for it. Just a big process. And then I started looking for pork last Sunday. I went to about 15 grocery stores to find my 4 pork butts for this weekend. And then my buddy Pat actually picked one up for me, who's going to be cooking with me this weekend. And I'll trim that one on when I get there.
So you might only find one pork butt at one of these supermarkets that meets what you're looking for.
That's worthy.
And you're like, that's worthy of the smoke. And then you're going on to the next place and you might not find any there.
Yeah.
And then wow.
So that was me Sunday. I went to Shaw's in Rainham. That's where I've been buying a lot of my product all year. I know their loading days. Truck wasn't there yet. And I was like, okay. Went to BJ's. BJ's truck just showed up. I'm like, oh. So I went to Shaw's, went to Hannaford's. I ended up going to Easton for the Big Y. I actually found all 4 of my pork butts at Big Y. I was shocked. Normally I'm 1-2 here, 1-2 here. But this week's been a busy week with work, so I really wanted to get a lot of my prep ahead of done ahead of time. Tomorrow will be a busy night. I'll trim all my ribs up. I'll trim my chicken tomorrow because I like to trim that right before the event.
Now, you're not afraid. You were telling me, I'm sorry, folks, me and Rico had a nice meal together. You're not afraid to cook anything on the chicken, are you?
I'll cook wings. I'll cook drums. Drums are one of those ones right now that I played around with at home. Not confident yet putting them in a competition box. So my normal cook is 12 to 14, maybe 16 thighs and 12 wing flats.
Yeah.
Is my normal cook. I like to cook more. We do eat it. And I do work with a whole bunch of construction workers who love food.
Especially your food.
So I give it to the guys as like a reward too.
Yeah.
Kind of. So we do it that way. And I look at it more as I want to put the best food I can put in that box.
Yep.
Sometimes it's the hardest thing to do is put in that piece. You might think it's great. Chip, you've judged before.
Yes.
Just recently. I was actually at the event that you judged. Yeah. Which was great.
And boy, he's going to meet you outside. He's going to show. I saw a Louisville Slugger in the back of his truck.
No, but it's one of those things that you got to have fun. And I think with me, the way I cook is once I get in that cooking mode, until my boxes are done, I'm in that mode. My buddy Pat will tell you, he calls it Rico Go mode, which is he'll just tell me to go and my mind just goes, boom. And then my fiance will tell you when I'm in that mode, I can be a pain in the ass to deal with. But I know what I want to do. I know what I want to set myself up for. My goal for the next 2 years is get to the Jack, get to the Royal. That's my biggest goal. Yeah. But I've been to the Jack before, once with Q&F Men, Billy Minahan, and Brian Martin in 2014. It was my second year of doing KSBS. They took me under the wing, and I did 25 cooks with them that year.
So tell us about that. Is it all cracked up to be what it is?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But the problem was...
People just go and come with huge smiles.
But the problem was I was 18. I couldn't go up on the hill. You have to be 21 to be on the hill.
All right, what's the hill? Is that where the distillery is?
No, the hill is where the party is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't get
to
notice
he didn't emphasize too much on party because he didn't want to let any cats out of the bag.
So they have a hill and there's a big party on it.
So they say.
Big cookout.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, there's a big
It's a big cookout. Big cookout. They have a...
I think I smell a rat.
Yeah, I'm smelling it right now. So are these just the people at the party? Are these just the cook teams?
The cook teams and...
Or is it your general public?
Nope, just the cook teams.
Well,
it's something they give
damn
back.
It. I'm not going now.
I can tell you.
Get on a team.
Chip, you're more than welcome to come cook with me anytime you want.
See, there you go. You're hooked up.
We did do the tour of the distillery. You can be any age to do the tour. Best memory I got with that was...
You're talking to 2 Tennessee squires here, by the way.
So
we are initiated.
So my brother was probably 12, 13 at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe a little younger. And they whooped the vap so you can smell the...
Oh, no.
And he was right there.
And
And I mean,
the mash, smell the mash?
smell the mash.
Yeah.
My brother's right there. They go, boom,
Oh, no.
boom. And all you see my brother go, thank God for Big Mike. Big Mike kind of caught him, kind
Yeah,
of. So it was
yeah.
like kind of funny.
It's like secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
but-
But it was, but that tour was great.
That's such a cool story.
How
How old is your brother now?
22.
Oh, boy. You got to take him back. You got to get there and take him back. Screw Chip. Chip, you're out.
God damn it. That was quick.
But so
great.
there's memories.
Sorry, Jesus.
There's a lot of memories, and I'm not gonna lie. I have tons of cooking memories with my family. I just don't cook KCBS. I don't just cook SCA. I just don't cook CBA. I do Culinary Fight Club, which is a whole different animal.
All right.
Okay, wait a
the
minute.
hell
We need to
was
go-
that? Yeah,
we need-
back
we
up.
need to go
You're
back.
worse than Tommy. Not for nothing. You just say things that nobody knows about.
We need a
Like, as
freaking
if we-
glossary with this guy. All right. Let me. I wrote down a couple of notes here, things okay.
Yeah.
When you say money meat or money muscle,
Muscle, yeah.
Money muscle.
what are we talking about?
So that's the front of the pork butt. That's your strand. So you have your bone right. You have your bone on the back.
Yep.
It's the flattened meat right in the front
Okay.
of that. So if you look at your money muscle, it's the one that looks like a tube. It's about yay long, thereabouts. Some can be bigger, some can be smaller. And that's what you slice it perfectly, you win the money. That's why it's called money muscle.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay, see, I did not know that.
You got the tubes right behind there, which are great. If you cook those right, perfect for pulled or perfect for a nice chunk in the box. And then you got the ice cream meat or bacon meat, which is between the two layers of fat.
I love it.
The ice cream meat.
I love it. This is great.
But those are the two layers in between the fat. And I take a lot of that and I brush it. And I cook so much more money muscle because I always overcook one just a little bit so I can use that as my pulled with my bacon. So you get in that nice texture throughout the meat. And the way I look at cooking now as me is I took a lot of influences from a lot of different people. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've taken Shake and Bake and Get Basted cooking class a long time ago, but I still use a lot of what I learned in that class. Not all the flavor profiles, but I use a lot of the techniques I learned. I will probably end up taking another class within the next year or so. It's the one I want to take is Chunky's barbecue class. I really look up to Chunky a lot, and every time he's up here, I love talking to him. I don't.
So,
know.
I mean, it's a constant learning, isn't it? And
Now do you know why I don't compete? He says it all the time. Oh, you should go compete. You should go. And I'm like, no, I'll never compete. I am happy where I am. Now you know why.
That's so true.
But
That's so true.
It's not.
Get off your ass, Pico.
It's not that you don't want to compete. I feel like you're a little afraid to try to get out there.
A little bit of both. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want
but the
people
only-
being critical of me.
But-
I'm fat. People have been critical of me my whole life.
But it's not that though. You got to look at it in the way of for my first cook, I was 16. I was cocky as all can be. I thought I was going to win the thing.
Yeah.
My first team name was Young Guns Barbecue.
Nice. Perfect.
I was like 16, 17. It was that. Then I cooked with Q Men, so I cooked under their name. Then I partnered up with another one of my buddies. We did JR's Big and Little. We were that for a couple of years. And then once that all dissolved, he went his way. I went my way, but we're still friends. My dad actually came up with my name, Q Shanty.
So and it's just you. Q Shanty is you.
It's me, my dad, my
your
mother.
family. Yeah, of
it's
course.
all of us. It's not just me.
Family business, sure.
But there's not another cook in the team.
No.
You have team members, but there's not another cook.
Yeah, there is another cook. My mother's words a big influence,
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
fiance's doing chicken nowadays. So I focus more now on the bigger meats and the ribs because the ribs are mine. I will never give up ribs anymore because ribs have been always one of those things that I've loved cooking.
Yeah.
But we're a family team. Q Shanty started when I first started 16. I was in the middle between all the RVs.
Yeah.
So I had an awning and a stick burner, and we're sleeping in the cars.
Yeah.
So that's how Shanty became about, was because we were the small ragtag fleet and kind of looked like a little she shed trying to pull everything out of the cars and the truck trying to
Great.
cook.
It's a great name.
But like talking to a lot of the guys at the events we've been to, they kind of look fondly on those days when they were just starting out and they didn't know what the hell they were doing, but they were just going for it. And the established guys were there, but they were the young and up and coming guys and trying everything. I see that a lot of like nostalgia with the older barbecue guys.
Yeah.
They look back on those. It was more of an adventure, I think. you know?
Everyone started out the same way.
Sure.
Everyone started out with being under easy up
Yep.
smokers outside.
Yep.
So that being said, that's how I started. So that's why it's Q Shanty for like kind of like that little rags to riches kind of like little feel.
I love it.
Oh,
I screwed it up today, by the way, but I love it.
It's
'Cause
all
I was
good.
going with the eye.
it's all good. I mean, everyone.
I recovered well.
Yeah, but everyone knows me as Rico.
Yeah.
When I first started, everyone called me the young kid.
Yeah.
Doing it at 16. But over the years, I've proved myself to myself a lot. This past year, I proved to myself that I can do what I've always set my goals out to be.
Yep.
Every year, me and my dad set goals for the year.
Okay.
And
So you guys kind of dig through the tournament schedules, pick what you want, and set
Yeah.
goals. Is that what you do?
no, it's more personal goals for myself.
Yeah.
And cooking wise, I've always wanted to reserve a grand champion in KSBS. I've been doing it almost 12 years now.
Here you go. What's KSBS for our listeners?
Kansas
out
City Barbecue Society is that. So that being said, a grand champion would win the whole contest, and reserve grand champion is RGC.
there? And that's a huge barbecue society, correct? Is that the biggest one in the country?
Yes, it is.
And
As
it's-
right now.
And what's their big event? Is it the World Series of Barbecue? Is
Between the Jack Daniels World Invitational
Yep.
and the American Royal.
that American Royal? I'm sorry.
The American Royal is the largest open contest that can have 400, 500 teams.
Wow.
But the Jack is the most pristine KSBS event.
And what did
That's
they have?
one
They
everybody
had about-
wants.
Yes.
They had about 85, just under 100, I
I think it was right around a little less than 100.
Yeah,
If
I
I
think
remember
so.
correctly.
Yeah, I think I saw 84, 85
Yep.
somewhere. But so I was curious about that. I knew KC Royal was huge in comparison, so I automatically say, oh yeah, Jack Daniels 200-300 people, and then I was like 85 seems low.
So the Jack is you have to win and you have to
Yes.
you have to get your bung drawn for that event. And
Yep.
so that's a whole different story.
a whole different subject. We're not going into bungs
We're not going
tonight.
into bungs. We're not going to go into any of that
So
stuff.
American Royal, you just enter.
If you win a GC, you're qualified for the Invitational.
Okay.
And my whole thing is I would love to go to the Royal. But as me and my family, we can't just go out to go cook the Open. I can't. It's almost 2,000-mile drive.
I was gonna say it's like a vacation to Europe.
Yes.
Where is it?
Kansas City.
Oh,
And then
I didn't bite on that one.
Thanks, Rico.
I came this
All
close.
right, all right.
I
deserve
came
it.
this close to going. So where's Kansas City Barbecue located?
So-
is this?
So
Thank you.
For me, it's one of those things. If I get there, I want to go cook both,
Yeah.
and that's been one of our family conversations we've had because I've thought about just going out to do the Open, but for us, it's kind of hard.
Yep.
We all participated together. We all need to take the time off from work and all go out together. So our family agreement is if I win my GC, we're going.
Yeah.
So this past year we did our RGC, which is our Reserve Grand Champion down in Connecticut for Jeff Mullen and Scott McDonald's event. And it was one of those things that I never thought in my right mind. With the competition that was there, I was like, I'll probably be top 10, but I might be a little bit lower. I know my food and I know how I am. And they called me in chicken for, I think it was 4th. And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Tell our folks out there when you get a call, what happens? How they lead up to that, and then what happens when you get the call?
So when you're turning your boxes, you all go, it could be better. This is good. I mean, past year, I've done a lot more challenging myself and creating new recipes because a couple years ago, I lost one of my good sponsors. He shut his doors, Mike Trump from Oak Ridge Barbecue. And then I started using a lot of the all queued up products and I fell in love with them. So I started incorporating a lot more of that. And now I'm one of his pro ambassadors up here. I'm the only ambassador up in New England. And I took all his stuff and kind of started modifying it to my way I cook. And I got to say, a lot of it is due to that. Due to the charcoal I changed up to. I changed up to harder charcoal.
Okay.
And I'm one of their pro teams up here. I use a lot of Flame Grown Products wood. I'm sponsored by them. They're a great family farm out of Maine who source wood. I'm partnered with Manchester Barbecue Pellets. Inkbird Thermometers, I use a lot of their products. I am endorsed by them. And then one of my buddies, Chef Dan Lane, who I do a lot of catering with with his company, I use a lot of his sauces. So I try to use a lot of local people and products I believe in. I'm not going to sit there and back something if I don't believe in that company.
That's good.
Gotcha.
And just recently, I know you're probably getting into it, I just partnered with Flavor Town Cookware.
Guy Fieri.
I just did. And then we also have a local knife company out of Taunton. I am working with 314 Forge, which their name is actually pretty funny because 314. 314 is my birthday. And
nice.
the knife company is
March 14th.
Yep.
March 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
You just missed the day of days.
it's okay. My dad
Come along anyway.
my dad asked the doctor if they could keep me in there until
Yeah,
then.
that's it.
God bless you.
Put
God
a
bless
hook
you.
on it. Did you have a safety pin?
He was right. Hold on, honey.
Nope. But so I'm partnering with different companies and stuff like that. And I'm only gonna use products I believe in. There's a lot of different things I love to do and cook and do that stuff, but I feel like if I'm backing a product, I have to believe in it 100% and not just half.
Yeah.
Manchester Barbecue Pellets, I've toured their facility a few times. I love the facility. The owners are great, communication great. I was with another charcoal company before Harder, who was a great company, but they decided to go out routes and not do sponsoring teams anymore.
Gotcha.
So I ordered a couple bags of Harder and I started talking to them and they go, Rico, would you think about ever being on our team? We want to start one. I'm like, yeah, I would love that. So then I got that partnership now. I've had a meat sponsor in the past. It worked out great. We separated just due to just as economical and stuff like that. I'd use his product again in a heartbeat. But he closed his doors and all that stuff. So it's a lot different like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm cooking, I want to believe in who I'm cooking products with.
So, I mean, this begs the question, how do you get involved with these people? Like, how do you get these sponsorships? And, are these people just coming up to you at a event? Are they just, they've heard about you, they've seen your stuff on Facebook, or a combination of all those things?
It's kind of a little bit of everything. I also created a resume for myself over the past 12 years of cooking. So I have a resume that has every award I've done, every competition I've ever been in.
Nice.
Smart.
And I have a couple paragraphs about me, about the family, about what we do. But Harder Charcoal actually reached out to me because of Levin Reed's art on Channel 4 article about us.
Oh, that's cool.
And then same thing with 314 Forge. I was talking to the guy and he goes, I saw you on the news. Do you think maybe we can do something? I'm like, yeah, we can talk about it. And then time came on and I forgot about it. And then middle of the season this year, he reached back out and created me 2 custom knives for myself.
That's cool.
And I use them every day. I use them every day at home. I use them in comps.
You love them?
I love them. They're great product quality. And then it's just one of those things. You want to be able to believe in your products. Mm-hmm. I believe in a lot of Chef Dan seasonings and sauces. I love his candy apple. Can't say I probably have 4 gallons of it right now in the refrigerator. But
Taking shots of that?
not taking shots of it, but
Pretty close.
I mix it in with a lot of my other sauces that I use as well. So I'm not just one brand oriented.
Gotcha.
I use a lot of Blues Hog sauces, not gonna lie. I use a lot of Billy Gillespie's Smoking Hog sauces. I use a lot of his. When it comes to rubs, it's a lot of 9 times out of 10, it's a lot of all queued up. There's a little bit of Simply Marvelous, and then there's some Billy's Smoking Hogs. And then there's one that I can't remember the name of, but we kind of play around with our own style of cooking.
Yep.
And as everyone knows, I've cooked on a lot of equipment. Everyone tells me I change stuff too much. I'm done changing.
I've seen a picture. I think it's your mom sitting in the backyard surrounded by all these different smokers and grills.
It's not my mother. It's just a picture when I had about 20 of them at once.
It was crazy.
And it's
It
just,
was like a used car lot.
yes. Everyone tells me our driveway still looks like a used car lot because there's tons of pits in there. But
That's awesome.
I'm now trying to downsize what I'm cooking on. I'm trying to cook more minimalist. But this weekend I'm I'm thinking about going to how I want to cook next year. But I don't know yet if I want to take the whole leap this weekend because I haven't done a full practice cook the way I want to do it. So I have my pellet on there in case I need to use it.
Yep.
I'm trying to go to 1 drum and my Pint Plus from Humphreys. This year alone, I picked up 2 Pint Pluses. More because of Marshfield Rib Cook-Off. I need the space to cook.
Yep.
Right.
And Humphreys makes great products.
Outstanding.
I've known Chad
and
and
they're
Nicole.
great. They're great people.
I've known Chad and Nicole for years.
Yeah, I met them up at Cora, and they're just sweethearts.
So I have a pint that was actually one of the original smokers I ever bought from Humphreys. I sold it to a buddy of mine, and I kind of bought it back last year, and I refurbished it, and I got cardinals put on the back for my mother for everyone who's passed away, and that, like, I love them, and they're great cookers, and kind of going back to it because I just want to go back to how I started, if that makes sense. Not
Yes, it does.
not fully go back to how I started, but go back to where I want to go back to more having fun. And sometimes competition turns into a job. Not gonna lie, some days I feel like some days it's a job.
Yeah.
With trying to make sure you're keeping up with the publicity, postings, and all that stuff. Sometimes there's another full-time job on top of that, top of work, top
All
of
right, you win. Okay.
on top of school because I'm back in school for my job. So I'm in school most nights on the laptop doing my online classes. So I wanted to go back to how I want to cook. And this year alone, I've proven a lot to myself. I've got a 702 for my reserve grand champion, which was the first ever time I ever hit over 700. When they called me for a reserve grand champion, I legit fell backwards.
That's cute.
So this is a long way around, but we're back at what it feels like to get that call.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what's the feeling like
I don't know, because
for you anyway? I mean, for me, I have no idea what it would feel. I guess it would
For
feel
me?
like
for me, I was shocked.
Yeah.
yeah.
But for my father, it's probably one of the proudest moments
Oh,
of his
sure.
life.
Yeah, that I understand.
Because
that makes sense.
the hard part for that event was it was a Friday, Saturday cook. My mom couldn't get the time off. My fiance couldn't get the time off. And they already had prior commitments on that Saturday. So none of them were there. And it was just me and my dad, and one of my buddies went down with us. And it was one of those things where it was a great father-son moment, but as a family, it sucked because not everyone was there for
Sure,
us.
you run a skeleton crew.
And
Yeah.
everyone's watching the live feed, and like one phone's ringing because the work phone has my mom on it.
yeah.
My personal phone has the fiance on it, and they're all crying and emotional. And I'm sitting there like, I could win this.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, we don't want you to win because we're not,
Not there, right?
Yeah,
Right.
what mixed feelings, right?
It was mixed feelings, but I was very happy for House of Q winning and getting to the Jack and doing a pretty decent showing down at the Jack themselves. But for me, it was a proud and long-awaited call for me. And then to turn around a month and a half later and get a perfect score in pork.
Yeah.
That I think the perfect score in pork I was more proud of. And that's not to say anything. I've had a few first places in pork this year. And getting that in a 180 in pork, I think was one of my proudest moments.
So what's that 180 score mean?
So
Break that down.
180 is a perfect score with so you have a perfect 180 and a perfect 180.
So that's all the judges.
All the judges
gave you
scored.
nines.
So three nines.
3 nines.
So I got 5 999s. So that would be a perfect score.
Yep.
If all 6 give you a perfect score, it's a perfect, which is still a 180.
Yep.
And I got a 180 with some of the best teams in the country. You had Chunky Barbecue get a 180, and then you had Fatted get a 180.
This is at Cora, right?
This is at Cora.
Yep.
You had Fatted and you had Chunky both got a 180.
Yep.
And I walked away with first with that 180.
Nice.
And I had like an out of body kind of experience.
I watched you walk up to get your award. You were so humble. It was great. It was so humble.
I walked right over to Chunky because I had Chunky try my food that day. I walked over and gave him a hug.
Yeah.
But that pork box, I have to give a lot of credit to my fiance and my mother.
So tell Chip, because you don't taste your pork, right?
I don't taste really pork. I'll taste like one little bite. My sister's my taste tester on pork.
Yeah, so he doesn't even
So
know.
I
how
don't.
he's-
I'll taste it like to try it, like because I have to.
Yeah.
So because I know what the flavor needs to be. But she's my real taste tester. She tells me it's good, I walk. She tells me it sucks or flat out is stupid. I don't get a call.
And these things have all happened.
And this has all happened. I think there's been one comp where she was wrong.
Yeah.
My whole past 5 years, I think there's one comp that she was wrong.
Yeah.
And I look now at it as a ritual. When I got the 702, I didn't even taste that pork box. And I'm being completely honest. I didn't taste it.
That's trust right there.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
trust,
just
but you
couldn't.
know.
I just
That's
couldn't.
Dedicated in your cook.
I'm like, I know my sister. I had my dad and my buddy tried it, and they're like, it's good, it's good, it's good. I'm like, something's missing. I can smell it. So I doctored some all the stuff up, added what I had to add to it, and it did good. I got third place that day. So I give a lot
That's a good advantage to have. If you know your taste tester is money,
Yep.
you know, they give you the thumbs up. You're like, okay, we're ready to go.
But is it 100% accurate all the time? No. But I trust my sister's opinion.
Yep.
And she's been around it 12 years now, same amount of time as me. She's been basically at every comp and over the years that we've done as a family event. So she knows what I'm going for. Same thing with my fiance is now learning how I want to cook. She took over chicken towards the end of last year and she started to do it more this year. This year she hasn't done a lot of the cooking, but she does a lot more of the prep for me. She's trimming the meat up. She's doing all that stuff. But then at the comp, she's the one putting that in the box. She's the one kind of in charge of that cook with me overseeing it, but not trying to step on her toes.
And you're not micromanaging it, right?
I'll micromanage it to a point where, like 20 minutes before turn-in, I'll start coming in and checking, make
Going
sure
through everything.
Because her chicken timeline and my slicing that point for the burn ends to get that back on the smoker is right around the same time. And we have one giant table in the trailer, and then we have the small one. So we kind of juggle a little bit in the trailer.
That's why you need a team.
But
Hey, was your dad at MCRCO? You said he was
Yes.
here helping you.
Yep.
I don't know how I missed meeting him. I wanted
my dad was more in the background when you were there.
Okay.
A couple of his couple of his best friends showed up. So he was kind of after we got all our stuff on. He had a couple drinks and was hanging out and relaxing.
Nice.
And my mom at that cook. Oh my God, was my mom, my fiance, our family friend Michelle, her daughter Emma, and my sister. Those five rock starred that front area.
That's great.
They were. Michelle and Emma did not know they were getting put to work, but they got put to work.
Charlie, you got to go to that next year. It's such a great event. The people that come out and the ribs they go through was amazing. I don't know what they say, 4,000 ribs or something.
Right about there. It was about 4,000 pounds of ribs.
Yeah. It was
And how many did you do?
We did 100 racks. So me,
Racks.
Matt Backyard Barbecue, and 16 Mesh all did 100 racks. I signed up for 200. They cut us back because
What do you mean by signed up for 200?
So you have to. Oh, sorry.
You have to cook more than 30. You tell them how many racks ribs you want to cook.
Yep.
Pat goes, Rico, how many you want to cook? I'm like, 150. But then Matt goes, I'm going to cook right about that. And my competitive side was, I can cook more than you.
I'm doing 152.
So then I was like, all right, we'll do 175. And then Pat kind of looked at me and goes,
Yeah.
I'll round that up to an even 200. I'm like, all right, I'll say 200 racks. I'm like, I'm going to kill myself, but I'll do 200 racks.
You're obligated to do the 30, like you said,
Yes.
but you can sign up for as much as they believe your capacity
Yeah.
could cook. So people say 100, 200.
Okay.
And then they give you the ribs.
Yep. So you pay a $300 donation
for the 30
for
ribs.
the
Is
rack.
that just for the ribs?
Just
not
for the
anything?
ribs.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's for the charity.
Gotcha.
So they get a lot of sponsors to help fund some of the costs and all that stuff. So you look at it more now as that weekend you're as a barbecue cook, you're in a little bit more money. But I kind of work a way out. Like as you all know, I do stuff for Ace Hardware as well. I'm doing Fernandes Lumber. I do a lot of their food demos.
Yeah.
So like my budget for food I took, and I'm like, I walked into Fernandes. I'm like, instead of getting paid cash, I need to go on the shelves and just kind of clear what I need out for the weekend.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So working with them, I get a little bit of a discount, not a huge amount, but you get something that helps you out.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it was a charity event, my work also helped out. So it's nice that you see different people trying to help you out. And for that, I used all queued up rubs. I get those for free, and he was gracious enough to send me whatever I wanted.
You had your pellets and your charcoal out front too.
I had the
You're
pellets.
pimping those.
I had the pellets out. I had the charcoal out. I had the flaming grill and the wood banner in the background. I had my Inkbird thermometers that we're testing all the ribs with, making sure they're food safe.
Yep.
Because you got to probe them before you serve them to make sure they're above
Yep.
food service temperatures and all that stuff. So you want to look at it more now as a
His name's Kevin Coyle from
Kevin Coyle.
Morningwood.
Yep.
He kind of gets involved with that quite a bit.
He's one of the founders for that event.
Yeah.
Kevin's great. I love Kevin. I love that Morningwood team.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He was real nice.
I met them a couple of years ago. I did that comp about 3 or 4 times before that, and then I stopped just because I ran out of time and I just couldn't get to it. Then this year they saw me and go, Rico, can you do it this year? I'm like, because last year they wanted me to do it.
Perfect for it.
Last year they wanted me to do it, but I was supposed to get married last year with my fiance, and then stuff happened and we postponed it to this year.
Yeah.
So that was actually our bridal shower was that day. So I go to sign up.
Oops.
I go to sign up, and my mother looks at me.
She loves you, bro.
No, I go to sign up. My mother goes, "You're not cooking." I'm like, "Oh, why?" She goes, "Can't tell you. You're not cooking." Okay, Mom. She goes, "It's your bridal shower."
Oh boy.
I'm like, "Oh, I want to be cooking," but I was like, "All right, family comes first."
Yeah.
And so this year, Pat asked me, because Pat wanted to do it, but Pat's like, I can't do it myself. I don't have enough equipment. I'm like, we'll do it together. We'll cook under me. Like this year alone, I've done a lot with myself, but I've also cooked a lot with Pat Cohen on the Barnyard Rebel. We've done a couple People's Choice events together.
Barnyard Rebel, that's right.
And we just kind of like, and our friendship's grown so much. Oh, we have a daily phone call. He works construction. I'm a construction safety guy. He goes, hey, I was sitting on top of scaffolding today, not tied off. And he'll send me a picture. I go, can't cook barbecue this weekend if you get hurt. So
If you got a broken femur.
yeah. So like
Attend to that shit.
so we so like that friendship's grown. I have a great relationship with Matt Pierre and Heidi, and then Dan and Kristen from 16 Mesh.
Yeah, I love those two.
And then not gonna say you got the big giant barbecuer, Mr. C-Mac. He is
Who's that?
Craig McDonald. He's Team Big Green Egg.
Oh yeah, I don't know him.
You
very
don't-
well.
he doesn't-
We've seen that somewhere.
You-
Team Green Big
I
Egg.
don't
Yeah.
know him very
He
well.
doesn't do.
green egg,
He doesn't
yeah.
do a lot. He doesn't really cook a lot for comps, but
Yeah.
he's a big green egg promoter. He's came out. He's done a couple cooks from the New England Barbecue, New England Pitmasters. They have a team that they've cooked under, and they've done a few cooks here and there. And I met Greg, and Greg's awesome. C-Mac's awesome. Greg's awesome, but C-Mac is like 6'9".
Oh yeah.
He topples over you. I just cooked. I just did Spencer a couple weeks ago for Egg Fest,
Yeah.
and he was the MC. He's like, Rico, what are you cooking today? Buddy, I got 4 items I'm cooking. You're gonna taste every single one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I could taste all your food. I already know it's gonna taste good. Like you gotta taste them. So we did.
That's sweet.
I did smoked mini chicken pot pies on a big green egg.
I believe I have your menu here. I believe it's smoked mini chicken pot pies, also bacon wrapped pickles,
Yes.
and Asian pork tenderloin tacos.
Yep. And then we added something last second. We added bacon wrapped lobster ravioli.
Oh,
Oh man,
God.
that's sinful.
I'm gaining
That's-
weight. I'm
So-
not even eating
It's
anything.
sinful.
So
bacon wrapped lobster ravioli.
That actually was not my
What?
recipe. That's actually Pat Cohen's recipe. And I wanted something different. And
Well, you
I'm,
gotta-
I'm already doing crazy different things because at any of the Ace events, any Egg Fests, I think outside the box. I do something no one's going to think about. Something crazy. I'm going to say those bacon wrapped pickles. If I don't see another pickle for a while, I'll be pretty much happy. I probably wrapped about 300 pickles.
You notice how you never
That's
say
great.
nobody ever says if I see another piece of bacon, I'll just
No, that doesn't.
No.
it just doesn't happen.
Doesn't make
Those,
sense.
no, just sitting
So
there.
what, so give me the lowdown on the pickles. Did you deep fry them and then wrap them, or wrap them
Nope.
and then deep fry them?
Nope, I smoked
talk to
them.
me. You smoked the pickles
On the grill. Yeah.
Jesus, how
with
do
the
you do
bacon
that?
wrapped around them.
Yeah. They were on for about 25 minutes, get that bacon crisp at
Nice.
$3.75, and they're like little chips. So I was like, I just wrapped the little bacon chips. I did the maple berry pickles. And then I wrapped it with bacon. I put a little bit of Cajun, the Creole Cajun from All Queued Up, put a little bit of that on it. Then we made a fiery ranch chipotle sauce for the dipping.
I was just going to ask you, what are you dipping that in?
And then, so we made all that. And then we did an Asian pork taco. So I took kind of like a sweet teriyaki sauce, and I marinated that for 24 hours inside that teriyaki sauce. Then it was a flash grill, just quick grill. Made a quick little, what would we do for a slaw on it? It was like did like a broccoli slaw, like just something small. But then I made homemade wonton cups. And I made all those. And
With the actual wonton wrappers?
yes. So I made those ahead of time. So those weren't done in the smoker. Those were done in the oven. But I put them in cupcake tins. So they look like little mini boats. Those are taco bite. But then on the bottom, before you put the pork on, I had a jambalaya rice. Because I'm not big in for very
Flavor profiles are amazing.
I'm not in for a lot of grease when it comes to my tacos. And so what we do at the house is instead of having a whole bunch of grease, we put like a cup and a half of rice in there just to give it a little bit more texture and it absorbs some of that juice so your taco's not getting all soggy and gross and stuff. So I dap that with my stuff.
So the taco is in a wonton cup.
Yep.
And you just throw the whole thing in while you're eating, or you
1
take
to 2 bites.
1 to 2 bites and you're good to go.
So if I do any events like that, I want small bites. I want a 1 to 2 bite sample.
Small bites.
Yeah.
I had some guy come up and have like 15 of them.
Jesus.
Told me it was the best thing he ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't even know the recipe.
Yeah.
I just came up with this on the fly.
Oh, that's so great.
But like we did the mini Southwestern chicken pot pies. Those actually started with Ace Hardware, with Fernandes Lumber. I do a couple events a year with them and showcase myself on their grills and promote myself just as a human being cooking.
Yeah.
And I did those at the last event. And oh my God, we got so many rave comments about those.
Huh.
They're like, those are delicious. Those are delicious. Can we have the recipe? I'm like, yeah. Guess what it is? The chicken, Campbell's chicken, creamy chicken.
Creamy chicken soup.
South sweet and sour chicken. Just put a little rub on it, then grab the mixed vegetable bag and get biscuits. Don't even make pizza dough. Just get the crescent rolls and make it into like a little pie. Just pop it in. When it's done, it's done. And then I put a little piece of parsley.
You talking about the poppin' fresh dough? Yes, you make your biscuits.
Exactly.
And then you make
Pillsbury.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was like, it works.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where we saw it on Facebook, tested it at home with the family, and Dad wanted a little bit more heat, so I did the sweet chili, and it works perfectly. I marinate it for 20 hours in the sweet chili sauce overnight. Then I'll grill it the day before to get all that infused. Because when you're making the pot pie, you want your chicken a little bit colder because you're going to have to mix it and do all that.
Sure.
So we did that, brought it down safely to food temperatures, and then on site, I assembled it all. And we're cooking those. The first time we did it on a Traeger with Manchester barbecue pellets.
Yeah.
And this past one we did on a XL Big Green Egg.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The Big Green Egg gave it some great flavor, but it did add some time to my cooking time.
Yeah. Don't want to, can't run it too high? Like what is that?
It's more, I cooked indirect on the Big Green Eggs.
Yep.
So
just limited space kind of a thing?
limited space and just more, because your ear is coming like this.
Yep.
And then on a pellet, it's coming up from the sides like this.
Yep.
So just the way it cooked it, need a little bit more time.
Cool.
But we didn't care. I didn't care. I was having fun. I probably served up on Ace probably a couple hundred samples of food.
Perfect.
You know what? I think people go back to like how they originally started. Like you're saying, you want to get back to a little bit of minimalist cooking. It's the journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the journey from starting to getting where you're going. I mean, that's where you have a lot of the fun and learning stuff and doing new things and really succeeding at each step. I mean, I always found that like the journey is sometimes even better than like the destination sometimes.
What I love about Rico's story too is now he's giving back with his sister.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic.
And I guarantee you she's going to rocket ship in this. And when she does, he's going to go along for that ride too, right?
I'll go along with it. Will I be happy about it if she tries to go up against me?
I know.
Yes
you'll
and
take
no.
her, you'll take
Yes.
her down at the knees.
Yes or no. But
Things that can happen.
I'm gonna tell you right now though.
We know a
If
few
she
guys.
want- if
We
she
know
want-
we
if
know
she-
a guy.
If she wants to go cook the one meat KHBS,
Yeah.
and I'm there, go right ahead. I'll pay for it for her. I'll have her cook under her own name. I'm not at this stage.
funny.
At this stage, I want to see her do good. Trust me. If she want to cook KHBS against me, I don't know if I would be able to do it because I'm losing my pork tester. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. But I gotta say, between my family, everyone steps up. So it's not like I want to sit there and say, I say it all the time. my mom, my sister, and her should go up against me in the tailgate, just as shits and giggles, and see how those three do, because they know all the recipes, they know the process, they know how to use all the equipment. But it's like
be like the Hayfields and McCoy. You don't want to, like, you know.
No, but it's just something.
That's a blood feud.
We have a rivalry, and we always say one day we're gonna do boys versus girls cook.
Oh, there you go. Now you put your foot in it.
No, but we always have. We've said it before.
Yeah.
We just never have gone around and actually did it.
Right.
Because you're breaking up the family.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you want to cook with a family. You don't want to cook.
I need a big heads up on that because I'm leaving New England when that goes down. I don't even want to be here.
I think we all want to be here for it because I honestly think my mom might kick my butt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think
if I had to put money down, I would put money on that too.
I'd put money on Mom, who's my fiance, Katie, who shouldn't be the wife. But I think those three would kick me and my father's butt because I think me and my father have the same personality. Would just be hot-headed the whole time.
Yeah.
Or would get a little too intoxicated together. One of the two. But at the end of the day,
hey,
it's family. It's fun.
This is fantastic. Thank you very much. I want to know before we leave if there's anything you want to reach out to, like what's next for Q Shanty. I know you have this weekend coming up, and thank you again for squeezing this in. This is fantastic. Hopefully everybody catch it Friday and appreciate everything that not only you go through, but every competition cook goes through and what you do for both charity and competition. So that's great. But what's coming up for Q Shanty? Anything good? Anything you want to plug?
What's coming up for us is November is a busy month for us in Q Shanty. We feed the 2 shelters for Thanksgiving, and then we get Christmas time, which we're feeding the shelters, doing Christmas gifts, wrapping gifts.
Yep.
And biggest thing for us is wanting to grow as ourselves. I do a lot of stuff with my buddy, help him out with his catering and stuff, which I love.
Right.
It's what we've been doing for years, and it's great. I have all the equipment. He has all the licenses. We work great as partners.
That's great.
And we look at it now as more of I'm now not looking at it as a business anymore. I'm looking more as a way, how can we give back more?
Right.
And be able to grow. And being able to do that would be great. I would love to be able to give back more than once a month, but time, energy.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing right now is we got less than 2 months until my wedding with my beautiful fiance.
There you go.
And she...
Like how you threw that in there.
No, she wants me to cook.
Sure you can get in the house tonight.
No, she wants me to. She wants me cooking,
Easy.
but funds.
Yeah.
Biggest thing's funds.
Sure.
Yeah.
We eventually we're trying. We want to get a house, or we want to get somewhere ourselves.
Yep.
We're at mom and dad's right now, just because trying to get
Makes
stuff
sense.
right now is just very hard to do.
Yep.
But the biggest thing for us is hopefully get to the Jack, get to the Royal. I would love to get out to World Foods. I've qualified 3 years and never went because COVID was around, and I work construction. My grandma is older. I wasn't taking the risk of trying to contract it if I went down and stuff like that. Another big thing would be if we can get Culinary Fight Club back around, get back in that culinary rink, because I love it.
Yeah.
And I am the defending Boston champion from 2019.
You got the belt, huh?
I got the knife. It's a knife. It's a knife. It's not a belt. And last time I went to the championship in Chicago, I finished 8th. I got redemption. I want to finish first in that. That's a goal. Or make that Final Four so I can put my plate of food in front of the 5 judges. But there's really no set goals. It's more wanting, how can I grow myself?
Yep.
And how can I grow my craft and be able to represent who I represent to the best of my ability? And that's how I think we got to look at now in barbecue. And biggest thing now, what else I'm doing? Repping CBA events.
Yeah. There you go.
There you
go. That'll keep you busy.
That's going to be busy. Matt, we got a busy season.
You got a godsend right here, Matt. Good job.
Wouldn't be what we do without him.
Yeah.
And 16 mesh. As long as we can do what we got to do and we can keep everything going, be able to bring another organization up here and help spread barbecue more.
That's awesome, and that's what it's all about. That's why we started up not too long ago.
Yep.
And I'd like to add a shameless plug here too, Rico. One of our sponsors, All Temps Labor Leasing, They love to do donatable events when they can. So if you ever need multiple hands to wrap gifts or a warehouse to hold stuff or trucks to get stuff around, they're a stone throw away and they're free. So let me know. I can help you out with that.
I will.
And we appreciate you and coming down here today and joining us. So thank you. What's that?
We got a little gift package for.
Oh, do you really? I didn't see. You and Fredo work tight with that.
Well, Fredo, I sent him on an errand and he knocked it out of the park this time. So
good.
You're off the list for 1 week.
Fredo.
So we've been hearing some things about Black Dog gourmet sauces. So we picked you up
out of New Hampshire, right?
We picked you up a gift case for that.
Well, thank you guys very much.
And so since you're a rub aficionado and you gave us some great rubs, we're gonna throw a couple back at you.
Perfect.
Here.
Thank you.
So have fun with those things and enjoy them.
We will. We'll do something up relatively soon. We'll post some We'll tag you guys. We'll tag them in it.
Yeah, give us a little feedback on the
that'd
sauce
be
and see
great.
how they are.
We will. I will give all the feedback I can give. I mean, I'm not gonna say what I'll use it for because I really don't know yet. I gotta taste it.
No, I'm just like just shoot me a text and say, hey, this stuff was great.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, he's just like Tommy, right? Because we try to drag stuff out of Tommy. Tommy's like, oh, I'll let you know when I try it.
Yeah.
Like he won't talk about anything.
Hold on. Let's see. I'll try it with new Guy Fieri skillet pants. How about that?
There you go.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Great idea.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining another week of Wise Guys Barbecue. Really appreciate it. So good luck to you this weekend. Rico, wish you the best of luck. And again, thank you for doing this. I didn't mention it once, but I'll put a banner in the bottom. Please like and subscribe. We got to get our numbers up. We want to do this forever. So anyways, appreciate you, and thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for letting me on today.
All right. You're welcome.
Awesome having you.
Thank you very much.